Welcome to Flash Tutorial Ramp Game Part 5. It's a follow-up to Ramp Game Part 4, and I have that FLA opened on my computer now. And as I said in the last tutorial, we have one more problem to solve, and that is when we move the lines before it drops, it can control the movement of the ball. So open frame 2 of the actions layer. Up here, up where we drop the ball, there's an if drop. So let's copy that, including the open curly bracket, and come way down to where we have this check line movie clip. There's the open curly bracket for that function right in here. Paste it. And if I have an open curly bracket, I need to put a closed one, and way down here, not so far, are two closed curly brackets after this ball MC line adjustment. Put in a closed curly bracket. Do this for frame 4 and do it for frame 6, and I'll return. I have them done. I'll just show you. There it is, my if drop open curly bracket. There's my closed curly bracket for that line, and I did the same thing on the last. There's the if drop open curly bracket and the closed curly bracket. So let's just make sure that works. If it works on one, I'm certain in this case it'll work on the rest. And before, if I click this and moved it, the ball would move. Now we're going to make it so that we can have some more obstacles in here, that if you hit those, you'll have to start that level over again. Make sure all the layers are locked. Select the target layer, insert a layer, and call it TAR, T-A-R-A-V, as in the target to avoid. Select frame 1. I got a black stroke and a red fill, picking up my rectangle tool and making a rectangle, highlighting it. Over here, make sure this link is unlocked, and I want it to be 54 wide and 12 high. While it's selected, modify, convert to a symbol, make sure movie clip is selected, and call it TAR capital AV underscore MC. Copy that. And in the instance name, if not highlighted, paste in that instance name and call it TAR AV1. Select the X position and make that 225. Select the Y position and make that 132. Open the library panel. Drag that movie clip, another one of them instances on the stage. Come up here, paste it in, make it TAR AV2. Its X is going to be 297 and its Y is 208. Now yours may not be the same as mine, and you may have to play around with them to get them the way you want. So that's the two targets I have on this layer. That's the two targets I have on this level. I'm going to go to frame 3 of this TAR AV and insert a keyframe. These two targets stay the same, exactly where they are. Open the library panel, drag another instance in. We should be able to paste that name in still. And this is going to be TAR AV3. Its X is going to be 384. Its Y is going to be 284. Oops. 284. Let's go to this frame number 5, insert keyframe. Select that first one here. It's called tire 1, and we're going to make its X 240, and its Y is going to be 78. Select the tire 2. Its X is 308, and its Y is 190. And this last one here, which is number 3, its X is 398, and its Y is 240. Again, I say yours could be different than this. Now let's make sure that all the layers are locked. Unlock the lines layer, and I want to select frame 5. And because I added these red targets, I had to move a couple of my lines to make it work. So let's select this line first. Open the properties panel. That's line 0. And for me to make that work, and this may not be a problem for you, you may have yours all figured out. This got to be a 277 for mine to work, and this got to be 63. And down here, this line, which is line 4, my X has to be 417, and my Y has to be 285. And there's one more line, this one here, which is line 2, the 313 on the X, and 157. Now all that's left is to write the code to make that work. Make sure all the layers are locked. Open up the select frame 2 of the actions layer, open it up, come way down to the bottom where we have the borders being hit, doesn't matter which one, there's one of my borders being hit, and copy that statement. Copy it, go right to the very bottom, in between these two curly brackets, put a couple enters, enter, and paste it. And instead of the ball hitting the border, it's going to be that TAR capital AV 1 underscore MC. The rest of the stuff stays the same because we want it to repeat itself. And copy this. Right click copy. Again, between the two curly brackets, paste it in, and this will be 2, tire 2. Now I see I have a mistake because I have this 2 underscore MCs, common fault that I usually make when I label things and cut and paste. Right? So that's that one done. Go to frame number 4, open it up, go way down the bottom again, put a couple spaces in, paste it in, fix this up, tire 1, this is going to now be start 2, so copy that, down a line, paste it, and make this AV2, come down the line, paste it, and make it 3, because there's 3 in that particular thing. And let's copy from here all the way up to here. So we're copying those 3 targets being hit. Right click copy, go to the last of these action code, frame 6, Go down the very bottom after that second last between these curly brackets and paste it in, and everything stays the same except we're going to be going to start 3. Start 3. Start 3. Start 3. I tested it out and level 1 worked, level 2 worked, but level 3 I had to move some of the lines around. I don't know why, but in order to avoid hitting the new targets, I had to move the lines around. I had to move this line. Actually, I had to move them all. So I'm not going to bother giving you these coordinates. You can just play around till you get them to the point of where it'll work. And as you can see, this new setup works. This one gets it, disappears. This one disappears. And then we go to this last frame. Select the frame numbers layer. Make sure all the layers are locked. Insert a layer. Call it Game Over. Select frame 7. Insert a blank keyframe. And pick up your text tool. I'm going to keep the colors I have here red. Open my properties panel. I'm up to 70 points. Good size. Make sure it's static text. And make a big static block here and say YOU win. Or game over, whatever you wish. We now want to turn this into a game. Just as it is, everything goes on its own. So lock all layers. Select the lines layer. Select frame 1. And one at a time, randomly draw these lines over here. Once you have that done, do the same thing for level 2 on frame 3, and do this next for level 3 on frame 5. And there's my level 2 and my level 3. Now we're going to put some instructions on these layers, so make sure all the layers are locked. Insert a new layer and call it Directions. I've already got it done. Make sure that that layer is unlocked, and in the first frame of that layer type this information or something similar. The object of this game is to have the falling ball hit the orange rectangles and not the red ones. Click on the blue button. So that's what you have on frame 1. You can just insert a keyframe. On this one here we say click and drag the ramps into positions which will decide the path of the falling ball. Click on the red button to drop the ball. So here we clicked on the blue button. Here we're clicking on the red button. Go to frame 3. You can insert a keyframe. Doesn't matter however you do it. It's up to you. But all on this one here I'm saying click on the blue button. Then on the next one, frame 4, I'm saying click and drag the ramps. Click on the red button to drop the ball. You can have your own directions. Here I'm saying click on the blue button, and here I'm repeating click and drag the ramps. Click on the red button to drop the ball. So however you do that, that's up to you. I added another layer called Levels, and if I look at that, all I did was on frame 1 stuck down here level 1. On frame 2 it's level 1. Frame 3 and 4 is level 2. Frame 5 and 6 is level 3. Now if we look up here, you see how in here there's that 6 behind. If I hide the direction, that 6, that's those frame numbers. So make sure all the layers are locked. Select this frames number layer, click this envelope, and this will open up and select guide. If I click guide, then that won't be seen when I run the movie, and I'll just show you that real quick, that it's not there. See, it's not in here. Normally it would be in here somewhere. Let's do the last test. It says the object of this game is to have the falling ball hit the orange rectangles and not the red ones. Click on the blue button. We're on level 1. Now it says click and drag the ramps into positions which will decide the path of the falling ball. Click on the red button. So we're going to click on these and drag them where we think they should go, and click on this red button, which will allow the ball to drop. So now we're ready to drop the ball. And if it doesn't hit these, we're good. If it hits this, we should go to level 2. And here we're on level 2. It says click the blue button, and you can see there's 3 targets that we shouldn't hit this time. Now we're going to move these to where we think they should go, and then we're going to click the red button. And I believe that's all we need to make this one work. It's quite simple. And that sends us to level 3, so we must have hit that orange block on that previous level. Click on the blue button. Now we're going to drag these into position. Now we got to make sure we hit both of these orange rectangles and none of these red rectangles. Now I purposely left one line out, and I just want to demonstrate what happens should we hit one of these red rectangles when we drop the ball. You notice it sends us back to the first part of level 3, and notice that the ball goes back to where it was, but my lines stay where they are. So now all I have to do is just move my lines into position, and I should be able to make this work. Pick that one up. Oh, it almost went over, and it picked that one up. Had it gone over and hit the side, it would have went back to the first of that level, just as if it would when it hit the red rectangle. This was a long project. I hope you learned something from these tutorials, and I hope you use what you learn.